I thought I was sleeping, and then I thought I was awake. It was not until later, though, that I realized I was somewhere between the two. I opened my eyes in complete darkness. I could feel that I was sitting in a chair, and I could feel that I was not there of my own free will. Tight ropes were bound around my arms and legs, and even around my back, confining me to the chair. I struggled against them, but to no avail. I was trapped there, alone in the darkness. Or rather, I thought I was alone. In reality, there was someone there, watching me. After seeing the pathetic struggle I made to free myself, she laughed at me. "Where are you? Show yourself!" I demanded loudly and angrily. Lights came on and I could see that I was in a big, white room. It was filled with nothing save myself, and a silence that was damn near maddening. Suddenly, someone came up behind me and grabbed me by my shoulders as if trying to scare me. I jumped a little.
"Do you know who I am? Or rather, what I am?"
A woman asked in my ear. "How the hell can I? I haven't even seen you yet," I yelled in frustration. She giggled again and replied,
"You can't see me. I am your subconscious."
"What? How could my subconscious be a woman?" I asked aloud, growing mildly amused at the whole situation. I must be dreaming. I could feel her stroke my hair now.
"Oh, you poor sweet little thing. If only you had more self-control. Have you never heard the phrase, 'Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned'? I take over when you are in danger, or when you have been terribly hurt. Can you not recall those times when you were a child? I protected you, you know,"
she admitted. My mind flew back to when I was a child, and I remembered the times when I was bullied. Then I remembered a little girl in a white room who used to speak to me and ease my worries, just like what was happening now. I would leave the white room when the time came, and the bullies would be running away from me. This little girl would make everything better for me. She always protected me, and I called her Missy. Only now this little girl wasn't so little anymore, nor was she as sweet as she had been. "Missy?" I called out. She gave me a round of mock applause and muttered,
"Took you long enough to figure out."
"What's going on? What's happened? And what are you on about self-control for?" I demanded. She giggled once more in reply.
"Are you really that thick? Even as a child, you would automatically call me to come and fix things whenever you had gotten hurt. You have no self-control. Sometimes, though, when you call me, I make a bit of a mess of things, as I just have."
She sighed heavily.
"Don't worry, though. I'll protect you, and I'll let you know where to go and what to do next. All right? For now, to help you better understand what's happened, can you tell me what you remember before coming here? Anything at all. Go on."
I struggled to pull the memories out of my mind. I remembered waking up next to my wife, Amy, kissing her on the forehead and heading off to work. From that point on, everything was a blur. I remembered coming back home and seeing something awful, but what it was, I couldn't remember. After that, I remember anger, pain, and sadness. Heartbreak. I couldn't remember anything from that point on.
"Good job. You remembered a lot more than I thought you would."
Missy praised me in a condescending manner. I don't understand, though. Why can't I remember? Even in the past, when you came to help me, I could mostly remember what happened, I exclaimed worriedly. There was an eerie silence in the room before she spoke in a quiet, unsettling voice.
"The mind can do the most amazing things, you know. It can block things out from your memories that you should not have seen. It can hide you away within your mind to rescue you. And best of all, it can splinter into pieces and have one of those pieces take over in order to protect you. I am not really your subconscious, but I am a fragment of it that has been around for many years to save you and support you in your times of need. However, something horrible has happened that not even I could fix, and your mind created another fragment to rectify the situation. This other fragment is a nasty piece of work, though. He has no emotion whatsoever, only brilliance and an understanding of what needs to be done. And he will do whatever it takes to make sure that you are safe. Whatever it takes.
There was a rough edge to her voice that unnerved me, and I struggled once more to get out of the chair. This is all just a bad dream. This cannot be real. Let me go now. Get me the hell out of here! I yelled loudly, thrashing my arms and legs with all my might.
Very well. Just know that I warned you,
she said, and this time her voice was apologetic.
Good luck.
I saw the flash of a knife out of the corners of my eyes and heard the sound of rope being sliced. I pulled the ropes off of me and whirled around to find no one in the room with me. There was, however, a door, and I rushed to it frantically, yanked it open, and ran inside. I did not know where it would lead, but I had hoped it would get me out of that nightmare. I sat up quickly in bed, letting out a muffled yell. Panting and shaking, I awakened from my nightmare and looked around to find unfamiliar surroundings. No, they weren't unfamiliar. This was the hotel I stayed in when I was away at a work conference. I struggled to remember, and a memory came back to me. I had told my wife, Amy, that I had a work conference to attend and would be out for a week. But it was a lie. Even so, I booked this hotel far away from my home. Why would I lie to her? I thought to myself, desperately trying to remember. I shook my head in frustration and then sleepily shambled over to the restroom. As I walked in, I froze in horror at the mirror. A man with short, wavy blonde hair and eyebrows, with a face I did not recognize, was staring back at me. "What the hell?" I exclaimed. The nightmare I had had was now beginning to leak into real life as I began to remember more about what happened. I remembered getting home early and walking in on my wife and a coworker friend of mine. I didn't say a word, and they didn't notice me standing there in the doorway of the bedroom, so I just went for a drive. Little did I know, the anger, the heartbreak, the pain, and the sadness had created a monster within my mind. That monster called my wife and lied to her about the week-long meeting. That monster had stalked her and waited for the next moment that she and my friend would spend together. That monster entered the house while Amy and Steve were together. I shook my head, and not wanting to remember anymore, I turned on the telly. The news was on, and I was on it, or rather who I had been. I was the 27-year-old man who had brutally murdered his wife and friend upon finding them together in his own home. It was all coming back to me now. That monster crept stealthily around the house, closing every window and turning off most lights before he headed upstairs to the master bedroom. He gutted the two of them like fish, cut off Amy's wedding ring with the finger still attached and threw it into the bin. Then, he took out all the money from the bank accounts and ran away as far as he could from that area. He dyed our hair and got plastic surgery to change our face. The most unsettling part of it all, or rather the part that should have been unsettling to me, was that I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel ashamed. I couldn't feel anything except for how free I was. I had no emotions. I was just free. And I liked it. Besides, who's to say that wasn't just righteous fury? The way I see it now, a person is either a monster or a victim, and I will be a victim no longer.